What if the food on your plate today could determine whether you stay independent or face a life-changing stroke tomorrow? After age 65, your risk of stroke increases significantly. But here's what most people don't realize. You don't need to wait for symptoms. Every single bite you take, the good, the bad, and the sneaky in between, is either pushing you closer to that hospital bed or helping you walk farther from it. Let me tell you about Mary. 72 years old, full of life, never smoked, kept her weight under control. But one day, out of nowhere, she collapsed in her garden. A stroke. No prior warning. What was her biggest risk factor? Not her genes, not her age. It was her diet. Everyday foods she thought were healthy, but silently raised her blood pressure and inflammation over time. And she's not alone. The truth is, some foods you see as harmless, a slice of breakfast bacon, a glass of juice, a microwave dinner, could be quietly working against your brain, your heart, and your long-term independence. But here's the good news. Small, simple food swaps can dramatically reduce your stroke risk. Starting today. In this video, we're going to break down exactly what to eat more of and what to cut back if you want to protect your brain, lower your blood pressure, and give your body a fighting chance against stroke after 65. This is not a list of trendy diets or difficult meal plans. This is real, science-backed, senior-friendly advice you can start using by your next meal. Ready to take control of your plate and your future? Let's begin. Now let's get to the heart of it. Why does food matter so much when it comes to stroke? To understand this, we need to look at what actually causes most strokes in people over 65. It's not just about age. It's about what age does to your blood vessels and what your daily choices do to those vessels over time. As we grow older, our arteries naturally become stiffer. Blood doesn't flow quite as freely. Our blood pressure creeps up. Inflammation becomes more common. Not the kind you feel, but the kind that simmers silently in your body for years. And all of these changes combined set the stage for a stroke. Now here's the key. What you eat directly impacts every single one of those risk factors. Take sodium, for example. Too much salt in your diet causes your body to hold on to water, which raises your blood pressure. Over time, that extra pressure damages the delicate lining of your blood vessels. Think of it like overinflating a balloon. Eventually, something gives. Or look at trans fats and processed oils. They raise your bad cholesterol, lower your good cholesterol, and make your blood thicker and stickier. That means it's more likely to form clots. And a clot in the wrong place is exactly what causes an ischemic stroke, the most common kind. And then there's sugar. Not just desserts, but hidden sugars in sauces, cereals, and drinks. Sugar spikes your insulin levels, feeds inflammation, and contributes to diabetes, another major risk factor for stroke. One study from the American Heart Association found that seniors who consumed high amounts of added sugar had a 38% higher risk of stroke than those who kept it low. But it's not all bad news, because food can also heal. Certain nutrients, like potassium, omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and fiber, can relax your blood vessels, stabilize your blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and even help reverse the damage already done. That's right, your diet can either fuel the fire or put it out. And the best part? You don't need exotic ingredients or expensive supplements. Just the right foods, chosen wisely and eaten consistently. So now that you understand why your plate matters more than your prescription, let's take a close look at the foods you may need to watch out for, starting with the worst offenders that quietly raise your stroke risk. Let's now talk about the foods that quietly but consistently raise your stroke risk, sometimes tripling it, especially after age 65. These aren't rare or exotic foods. In fact, they're often part of the everyday American diet. You might find them in your breakfast, your lunch, or even that late-night snack you grab without thinking. But over time, they damage your blood vessels, raise your blood pressure, and quietly prepare the ground for a stroke. Let's break them down, one by one. 1. Processed meats. Bacon, sausage, ham, deli slices. They may taste delicious. They may remind you of Sunday brunch with family. But processed meats are among the top offenders when it comes to stroke risk, and here's why. They're loaded with sodium, sometimes over 1,000 milligrams in a single serving. That's nearly your whole day's limit. They often contain nitrates and preservatives, which have been linked to blood vessel inflammation. Many are cooked or smoked in ways that introduce carcinogenic compounds, increasing oxidative stress, which wears down your arteries over time. Expert insight. Dr. Janet Powell, a cardiovascular nutritionist, puts it simply. If you eat processed meats daily, you are essentially feeding inflammation and hypertension every single morning. What to do instead? Swap cold cuts for grilled chicken, sliced avocado, or even homemade tuna salad with olive oil and herbs. 2. Foods. High in trans fats, fried foods, baked goods, non-dairy creamers. Trans fats are banned in many countries, but they still sneak into our food through labels like partially hydrogenated oils. These fats increase LDL, bad, cholesterol, decrease HDL, good, cholesterol, promote plaque buildup in arteries, the exact thing that leads to ischemic stroke. Even small daily intakes can cause long-term damage. Did you know? A single fast food fried chicken meal can have enough trans fats to affect your cholesterol levels for days. Swap idea. Instead of frying, try baking or air frying with olive oil. And read labels, especially in cookies, crackers, and creamers. 3. Salt-laden foods, canned soups, frozen meals, pickles. Salt isn't evil, but too much sodium is a silent killer, especially for older adults. Sodium causes water retention, raises blood pressure. Chronic high sodium intake thickens blood vessels, makes arteries less flexible, raising your risk for both stroke and heart disease. What's tricky? It's not just the salt you sprinkle, it's the hidden sodium in processed foods. Pro tip: compare labels. A healthy frozen meal can have 800 to 1,200 milligrams of sodium, over half your day's allowance. Solution: go for low-sodium versions, rinse canned beans and veggies, or better yet, cook fresh using herbs, garlic, and lemon for flavor. Added sugars, sweet drinks, cereals, flavored yogurt, sauces. Sugar doesn't just contribute to weight gain, it's a direct contributor to stroke through multiple mechanisms. Spikes blood sugar and insulin, leads to insulin resistance, promotes inflammation and damages. Blood vessels, increases belly fat, which is tied to higher stroke risk. In seniors, raises risk of type 2 diabetes, a major stroke factor. Hidden sugars? Many low-fat foods are packed with added sugars to compensate for taste. Example: a flavored yogurt cup can have more sugar than a can of soda. What to do? Switch to plain Greek yogurt, sweeten with fresh fruit, or use cinnamon for flavor without the sugar spike. 5. Alcohol and late-night caffeine. Moderate alcohol can be okay for some, but excessive or late-night use contributes to elevated blood pressure, dehydration, especially during sleep, poor sleep quality, which increases stroke risk overnight, atrial fibrillation, irregular heartbeat, one of the strongest stroke predictors in older adults. Caffeine at night, such as in tea, coffee, or chocolate, can raise your nighttime blood pressure, interrupt sleep, and worsen cardiovascular stress. Smart habit: stop caffeine after 2 p.m. and limit alcohol to 1 drink or skip altogether if you're on medication. Final note on this section: you don't need to fear food, but you do need to respect its power to heal or to harm. These common choices add up over weeks, months, and years, and the sooner you begin replacing them with smarter, heart-friendly options, the stronger your defenses against stroke become. Now that you know what to watch out for, let's turn to the good news. The foods that nourish your brain, protect your blood vessels, and reduce your risk of stroke, naturally and deliciously. Ready? Let's explore the stroke-fighting foods you should be eating more of. Next. At this point, you already know that food plays a powerful role in your stroke risk, especially after age 65. But here's what matters just as much: knowing why certain foods help, so you can feel confident every time you make a healthy choice. Let's look at the best foods for stroke prevention and exactly how they protect your brain and blood vessels. 1. Fatty fish: salmon, sardines, mackerel. Why it helps. These fish are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which help lower triglycerides, reduce inflammation, and make your blood less likely to clot, one of the leading causes of ischemic stroke. Omega-3s also support healthy heart rhythms and blood flow to the brain. How to eat it. Bake or grill salmon with herbs and lemon. Try canned sardines on whole grain toast with avocado. Aim for 2 servings per week, more if approved by your doctor. 2. Leafy greens: spinach, kale, Swiss chard. Why it helps. Leafy greens are packed with potassium and magnesium, 2 minerals that help control blood pressure. They're also rich in folate, which supports healthy blood vessels and reduces homocysteine levels, a risk factor for stroke when too high. How to eat it. Add spinach to omelets or smoothies. Sauté kale with olive oil and garlic for dinner. Try a fresh salad daily with dark greens as your base. 3. Berries: blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. Why it helps. Berries are loaded with antioxidants, especially anthocyanins, which help reduce oxidative stress, a form of cellular damage that increases stroke risk. They also improve blood pressure and reduce LDL, or bad cholesterol. How to eat it. Top oatmeal or yogurt with a handful of berries. Blend them into a smoothie. Eat them as a sweet, low-sugar snack instead of desserts. 4. Nuts and seeds: walnuts, flax seeds, chia seeds. Why it helps. These provide healthy fats, plant-based omega-3s, especially ALA, magnesium, and fiber. They help reduce inflammation, lower blood pressure, and support artery health. Flax seeds also contain lignans, natural compounds that protect blood vessels. How to eat it. Snack on a small handful of unsalted walnuts. Add ground flaxseed to oatmeal or smoothies. Soak chia seeds in almond milk overnight for a brain-boosting pudding. 5. Whole grains: oats, quinoa, brown rice. Why it helps. Whole grains are rich in soluble fiber, which helps reduce cholesterol and stabilize blood sugar. Both high cholesterol and uncontrolled blood sugar are stroke risks. They also keep you full longer, helping with weight control. Another key factor. How to eat it. Start your day with steel-cut oatmeal. Use quinoa instead of white rice. Try whole grain bread or barley-based soups. 6. Olive oil, especially extra virgin olive oil. Why it helps. Olive oil contains monounsaturated fats and powerful antioxidants called polyphenols. These reduce inflammation and protect the inner lining of your arteries, the endothelium, making them less likely to harden or form dangerous plaque. How to eat it. Drizzle over cooked veggies or salads. Use instead of butter or margarine. Avoid overheating. It's best used for low-heat cooking or raw. 7. Garlic and fresh herbs. Why it helps. Garlic contains allicin, which helps relax blood vessels and lower blood pressure. Herbs like turmeric, parsley, and rosemary are rich in anti-inflammatory compounds. They also help reduce your dependence on salt, another stroke risk. How to eat it. Add garlic to soups, stews, or roasted veggies. Flavor meals with herbs instead of salty seasonings or packaged sauces. 8. Beans and lentils. Black beans, chickpeas, lentils. Why it helps. Beans are full of fiber, plant-based protein, potassium, and folate. These nutrients work together to lower blood pressure, improve cholesterol, and reduce inflammation. They're also a great substitute for red or processed meat. How to eat it. Add beans to soups, salads, or tacos. Blend chickpeas into hummus. Use lentils as a base for a hearty, meat-free dinner. 9. Green tea. Why it helps. Green tea contains catechins, powerful antioxidants that improve blood vessel flexibility, reduce blood pressure, and may protect brain cells from damage. It's also hydrating and low in calories, a good replacement for sugary drinks. How to drink it. Brew 1 to 2 cups daily, ideally without sugar. Add lemon for flavor and vitamin C boost. Avoid before bedtime if caffeine sensitive. The bottom line. You don't have to overhaul your diet overnight. Just start adding more of these protective foods one by one. And watch how your body, your energy, and your brain begin to respond. Up next, we'll take all these foods and show you how to build a simple, senior-friendly daily meal plan that keeps your risk low and your plate full of flavor. So now you know which foods raise your stroke risk and which ones help reduce it. But let's be honest, knowing isn't always the same as doing. That's why in this section, we're going to get practical. We're going to build a real, flexible, enjoyable daily meal plan using the foods we've talked about that supports your brain, your blood vessels, and your energy, without taking the joy out of eating. And remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Let's walk through a full day, from breakfast to bedtime. Breakfast. Start light. Start smart. Your first meal sets the tone for the entire day. Stroke-proof breakfast. Option: 1/2 cup steel-cut oats, cooked with water or unsweetened almond milk. Topped with fresh blueberries, a sprinkle of ground flaxseed, and a small handful of walnuts. Optional: a soft-boiled egg on the side for extra protein. Herbal tea or green tea, no sugar. Why it works. This meal provides fiber, antioxidants, omega-3s, and protein, keeping your blood sugar stable and your vessels calm. Mid-morning snack. Keep it simple. A stroke-smart snack isn't about calorie counting, it's about sustaining energy without triggering inflammation. Options: a small apple with almond butter, carrot sticks with hummus, a few squares of unsweetened dark chocolate, 70% plus cocoa, and a green tea. Lunch, balance and blood pressure. Friendly. This is your chance to add leafy greens, healthy fats, and legumes. Stroke-proof lunch. Idea: large salad with spinach, mixed greens, chickpeas, cucumbers, cherry tomatoes, and avocado dressing. Extra virgin olive oil plus lemon juice. Plum garlic side of whole grain toast or a small bowl of lentil soup. Why it works. Potassium, fiber, plant protein, and heart-friendly fats, all in one delicious bowl. Afternoon snack. Avoid the sugar crash. Afternoons are when energy dips and sugary snacks call your name. Stroke-safe choices. Plain Greek yogurt with sliced strawberries, a handful of unsalted pistachios, celery with peanut butter bonus. Tip: drink water or an herbal infusion. Dehydration is a hidden stroke risk for older adults. Dinner. Light but nourishing. You want a dinner that's filling, anti-inflammatory, and easy to digest before bed. Stroke-smart dinner. Example: baked salmon fillet with lemon and herbs, steamed broccoli or sautéed spinach, quinoa or sweet potato mash, a slice of orange or kiwi for dessert. Why it works. You're loading up on omega-3s, fiber, and key vitamins like magnesium and vitamin C, supporting vascular health overnight. Evening routine. Protect your sleep and your brain. This time of day matters more than you think. Late-night eating, caffeine, or alcohol can spike blood pressure at the worst possible time, when you're trying to rest. Tips: no caffeine after 2 p.m., no heavy meals within 2 hours of bed. If you snack, choose chamomile tea and a few almonds, or a piece of banana key. Rule: don't chase perfection. Build habits you enjoy. Choose real, colorful, fresh food whenever possible. Keep things simple, and when in doubt, ask, will this nourish my heart and brain? You're not just feeding your body, you're fueling your future. Coming up next, we'll look at the common myths about stroke and senior nutrition that confuse many people and clear them up once and for all. Let's move forward together. Let's take a moment to talk about something that trips up even the smartest, most health-conscious older adults: myths. You see, when it comes to strokes and nutrition, there's a lot of advice floating around. Some of it's outdated. Some sounds good, but isn't true. And some, well, it can be downright harmful. So let's walk through the most common beliefs I hear from my patients and viewers over 65, and together we'll figure out what's real and what's just a myth. Myth number 1: I'm too old to change my diet. The damage is already done. Truth: this is one of the most heartbreaking beliefs, and it's simply not true. Yes, you may have eaten a certain way for decades, but your body still responds to good food, no matter your age. I've seen 75-year-olds lower their blood pressure in just 2 weeks of reducing salt and eating more fruits and vegetables. You don't need to be perfect. Even small changes, like switching white bread for whole grain or adding a serving of leafy greens, can begin to reverse years of silent damage. So don't give up on your plate. Your body hasn't given up on you. Myth number 2: low fat means healthy. Truth: this one has been around since the 1980s. But here's the catch. When companies take fat out of food, they often add sugar, salt, or artificial thickeners to make it taste better. That low-fat yogurt or salad dressing? It might have more sugar than a cookie. And remember, your brain and blood vessels need healthy fat. That means fats from salmon, nuts, seeds, avocado, and olive oil. Healthy fat is your friend, not your enemy. Myth number 3: salt is the only thing that affects blood pressure. Truth: yes, too much salt raises blood pressure, especially for older adults. But it's not just salt. When you don't get enough potassium, found in bananas, beans, and spinach, your blood pressure goes up. Lack of magnesium, fiber, and even water can also play a role. So instead of only focusing on cutting salt, focus on adding the right foods, like fresh produce, whole grains, and unsalted nuts. It's not just what you take away. It's what you bring to the table. Myth number 4: strokes come out of nowhere. Nothing you eat can stop that. Truth: strokes feel sudden, but they don't come out of nowhere. They build up over time. Every day of high blood pressure, every skipped vegetable, every sugar-heavy snack, it all adds up. A stroke might strike in one day, but the damage that led to it happened over years. The good news: that means you can slow it down, or even stop it, by changing what you eat today. The plate you choose right now matters more than you think. Myth number 5: I feel fine, so I must be fine. Truth: here's the hard truth. You can have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or even early diabetes, and feel no symptoms at all. That's why they call them silent killers. They do their damage quietly, without warning, until one day, something serious happens. That's why smart eating isn't just for sick people. It's for everyone over 65, because it's easier to prevent than to treat. In summary, if you've believed any of these myths, you're not alone. The important thing is, now you know better. And when you know better, you can do better. Coming up next, I'll guide you through a gentle, senior-friendly 7-day meal. Guide you can try at home. Nothing fancy, just real food, real results, and one simple step at a time. Let's keep going. So now you've got the knowledge. You understand how food can either help or hurt your brain and your blood vessels. You've learned which ingredients to embrace and which ones to walk away from. But now comes the most important part. How do you turn this knowledge into action every single day? To make it easier for you, I've put together a gentle, flexible 7-day meal guide. This isn't a strict diet or complicated plan. It's a real-life example of how you can eat well, stay satisfied, and protect your body. One meal at a time. Let's take it day by day. Day 1. Fresh Start Breakfast. Oatmeal with sliced banana, flaxseed, and a sprinkle of cinnamon lunch. Lentil soup with whole grain toast and a side spinach salad. Snack. Greek yogurt with fresh blueberries. Dinner. Grilled salmon, roasted sweet potatoes, steamed broccoli beverages, water, green tea. Day 2. Heart-healthy variety. Breakfast. 2 boiled eggs, avocado toast on whole grain bread. Lunch. Chickpea and vegetable stir-fry with brown rice. Snack. Apple slices with almond butter. Dinner. Baked turkey breast, quinoa salad with olive oil dressing, sautéed kale. Day 3. Fiber-focused breakfast. Plain Greek yogurt topped with raspberries and chia seeds. Lunch. Tuna salad on a bed of mixed greens, whole grain crackers. Snack. Handful of walnuts plus a cup of herbal tea. Dinner. Grilled shrimp, wild rice, roasted zucchini and squash. Day 4. Plant-powered breakfast. Smoothie with spinach, frozen berries, banana, and oat milk. Lunch. Black bean and corn tacos with avocado and tomato salsa. Snack. Sliced cucumber and hummus. Dinner. Baked cod, mashed cauliflower, steamed green beans. Day 5. Light and balanced breakfast. Steel-cut oats with diced apple, raisins, and cinnamon lunch. Quinoa bowl with roasted vegetables and chickpeas. Snack. A few squares of dark chocolate, 70% plus, with green tea. Dinner. Grilled chicken breast, barley pilaf, steamed carrots. Day 6. Weekend flexibility. Breakfast. Vegetable omelet with whole grain toast. Lunch. Split pea soup with a small mixed salad. Snack. Pear slices with a handful of unsalted sunflower seeds. Dinner. Grilled tofu or salmon, brown rice, stir-fried bok choy day. 7. Sunday simplicity. Breakfast. Plain yogurt, parfait with granola and berries. Lunch. Turkey wrap with lettuce, tomato, and avocado. Snack. Handful of pistachios or almonds. Dinner. Baked halibut, sweet potato wedges. Side salad with olive oil vinaigrette. Final notes. Drink plenty of water throughout the day. Aim for 6 to 8 glasses. Avoid caffeine after 2 p.m. and limit added sugars. Use herbs and lemon for flavor instead of salt. Feel free to repeat meals you enjoy. Consistency is more important than variety. You don't need to cook gourmet meals or follow strict rules. You just need to choose the foods that love your brain every day. Coming up in our final section, I'll share a few final tips, encouragement, and reminders to help you stay on track, stay motivated, and protect your health for years to come. Let's finish strong. Let's take a moment now to breathe, to reflect, and to celebrate. If you've made it this far, through every tip, every food, every fact, you've already taken the most important step in stroke prevention. Awareness. You've learned that stroke risk after 65 isn't just about family history or bad luck. It's about daily habits, small choices, what's on your fork, what's in your pantry, and most importantly, what you believe is still possible for your health. I want you to remember this. It's never too late. You are not too old, and you are not powerless. Even a single decision, like swapping out salty processed foods for a fresh home-cooked meal, or drinking a cup of green tea instead of soda, or taking a walk after dinner, can begin shifting your body toward healing. Your brain is still listening. Your heart is still adapting. Your blood vessels are still capable of change. And here's the beautiful part. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to follow a trendy diet, count calories, or stress over every bite. You just need to do a little better today than yesterday. Maybe that means adding spinach to your sandwich. Maybe it means skipping the second glass of wine. Or maybe it means talking to your doctor about your numbers and making a plan that works for you. Every small step counts. And when done consistently, they add up to something powerful. So whether you're watching this from your kitchen, your living room, or a hospital bed, know this. Your next meal can be medicine. Your next walk can be healing. And your next decision could be the one that prevents a stroke. Thank you for spending your time with me today. If you found this guide helpful, consider subscribing for more simple, science-backed advice tailored for older adults who want to stay strong, sharp, and independent. And as always, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one thing you'll change this week for your brain and heart health? Until next time, stay well, stay curious, and keep making choices that serve your future. You've got this.